This episode is brought to you by Safety Wing. We're the Lockwoods, and we're traveling the world to experience up close and in person all the natural wonders and distinct cultures that our kids would otherwise be learning about only through books and TV. After a few great days amongst the historic charm of Kyoto, we've traveled 50 kilometers southwest to the bustling Japanese metropolis of Osaka. Known as Japan's kitchen, it's no wonder this city is famous for its fantastic food scene. So we're tightening our shoelaces, loosening our waistbands, and spending the entire day walking from bite to bite to see which parts live up to the hype. Let's get to it. We're kicking things off right here in the Kuromon Ichiba market, which is 150 stalls of delicious goodness. And I actually see one in particular that I really want to hit. Strawberries are a thing that the United States is famous for ruining, but the Japanese do it right. We always think of a good strawberry, a sweet strawberry, or ripe strawberry as being very bright red, but that doesn't have to be the case. It's all about the flavor and the sweetness. These are probably 10 times better than anything you would find in the US. Now these are a little bit in between, not as red as the ones over here, not as white as the other ones, just this perfect kind of marbly. It's like the Kobe of strawberries, I bet. And with a price to match. Now, I had something similar to this in Hawaii. It costs $50 for a thing of, I think, 9 strawberries. These are going to run us 2,600 yen and worth every penny, or yen, I'm sure.
Thank you so much.
All right, Colt's gonna start us off by opening this little package. One of the best things about these strawberries is that they're put into these individual compartments so they don't bump into each other, sit next to one another, and cause bruising on them. They're like each in its own little custom comfy hammock to keep them as sweet and as pure as possible. Brooklyn, are you gonna eat the first one?
Oh, look, they're white in the middle.
Very juicy.
Very juicy. Ooh, look, you're dripping.
Can I on
The leaves and all.
It's so juicy. This is the best strawberry I've ever had in my entire life, and it's entirely white on the inside.
Oh my gosh, get out of my way because I am so curious. I'm a little nervous because I've heard about these strawberries for a really long time and never been able to come across something like this. Like we tried to get the $50 strawberries in Hawaii, couldn't get it. You know what? It kind of tastes like a strawberry shortcake without all the extra ingredients. It's like sweet enough on its own, creaminess because of the texture, and the white, it reminds me of whipped cream too.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna get one. Oh, but see, this is what I'm talking about with like the little hammocks. Each one is in its own little spring-loaded plastic bed. It's an absolutely perfect strawberry. It reminds me of growing up in Indiana as a little kid, going out to our backyard, picking a strawberry right off the plant, nice and fresh, and eating it. When they tasted perfect back before everything was genetically modified and pesticided into the oblivion.
And I'm glad that they gave us this little bag because it's the perfect trash can. We're gonna have to take this around with us because as clean as Japan really truly is, we're mystified as to why there are no trash cans. They're actually hard to find. So this is our trash can.
Get another one.
We've got to pace ourselves today, sweetheart, so maybe we'll come back and get more, and maybe we'll try a different kind.
With all the stalls, there are actually a few specific bites that I want to try and find while we're here, but of course, we're seeing so many things that we want to try as we walk too, so we're playing it by ear. Like those.
Smoked salmon.
Absolutely.
And 2 smoked salmons, please.
It matches sushi.
Sushi is our cat. It's actually our friend's cat that we're just borrowing and holding until we see them again.
And what do you know?
We catnapped him.
Oh, that's good.
It's really thin. It just tastes like really fresh fish.
All right, let's keep walking.
Oh, no, we're not supposed to walk and eat. At the markets in Japan, they do not want you walking and eating. It's considered rude, so you're supposed to buy the food at the stall and stand outside the stall to eat it before moving on. All right, now we can move on. I don't know which way to go. I'm a little torn. They look equal distance each way. I'm just gonna guess with my gut, this way. Look at those scallops, they are huge. I wanna see if we can get it grilled, but we gotta go inside. We got a ticket, so we gotta choose a seat.
This is the best way to eat food. I don't even like going to restaurants anymore. I really like street food or just walking through a marketplace like this and having little bites. So much more social and energetic, burn calories, interesting, so much variety. This is my favorite.
Arigato. Ooh, look at that juice. So you pick out your food that's on the street side and then they grill it right there. Oh, it's hot. Check out the steam. It's delicious. The sauce is really yummy. It's kind of like scallop sauce, so it tastes like scallops, the sauce does, with a little soy in it too. I bet it's just like soy sauce with the natural juices, And then the scallop's so good.
I was not expecting that to be so tender. Scallops usually can be like rubbery and firm, but this is soft. It's like biting into a marshmallow. Look at this massive bite.
It's so delicious. In Colt's words, best scallop I've ever had. One more bite and let's get some more food.
Hard to beat that, but we're gonna try.
We're getting mochi! And it's like 20 feet away from us right up here, so let's go get it. Okay, I'm gonna get the double kind.
Okay, to share. You're each having one.
Yeah.
Yeah. More strawberries already.
It's I'm pretty sure a red bean paste, but I'm not sure.
Sweet bean paste?
Sweet bean paste? I only tasted the rice, but yeah, it's good. Same, because the bean paste is not at all in any way better than the mochi.
Okay, let's keep walking. We're gonna try what'll probably be the best bluefin tuna sushi we've ever had in our lives.
I suspect that we have to pick our own fillet and then we choose from keeping the fillet, doing sashimi, sushi, or rice bowl. And they'll make it, cut it for you right there after you purchase your block.
There's a really big difference in price on some of these, even though they're all very similar to the same size. I'm seeing prices from 3,700 yen up to 8,700 yen. And it really looks like just beef, Kobe, Wagyu. A lot of it comes down to the marbling, so I'm sure that it's the cut of the bluefin, and some of these are higher quality than others. How much do we want to invest, baby?
I don't know. I'm torn between size and quality. I don't want to waste any. Let's do the smallest one. We chose the smallest high quality piece that we could, and we're going with the #1 Kamatoro. It's like the Kobe beef of tuna.
Super marbleized.
We picked our piece, but there's not enough room at the table, so now we have to wait for a seat, and then he's gonna slice it up into sashimi pieces for us. It's sushi time.
Only 2 seats, so I'm going to stand, but they're really good at turning tables here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, maybe 8 or 10 of these bar stools tops, and they're turning them like every 2 minutes. So you chow down on your sushi and get the heck out. All right, actually Colt's giving me his seat. Thanks, buddy.
I am so excited. This is like my candy. You start chewing it, it almost like liquefies in your mouth. That is so good. It's so buttery.
Here, Colt.
Pretty
So
good.
flavorful.
Awesome. Ooh, awesome.
We gotta hustle because there's a whole line of people waiting to get in here. What a perfect texture. So easy to bite through, kind of buttery soft. That is delicious. I could eat that all day. Wow.
I almost fell over. That was the best bite. Thoroughly impressed. We gotta give everybody else a turn.
Look at these miniature maple trees. Japanese maple trees to us, but I'm sure they just call them maple trees here. The most adorable little tree ever. Even more adorable than a bonsai.
We're so close to Kobe, we couldn't resist. We've got to get Kobe beef. Kobe is just a day's trip away from here. It's the best beef in the world, and all that marbling, arigato. And here it is. Colt's gonna have a bite.
That's so good. It's like legit steak mixed with the texture of fat. Best steak I've ever had.
All right, Brooklyn.
That's good.
Steak is one of Brooklyn's favorite things on the planet, so she never passes up an opportunity to try it out.
All that marbling on it is fat, and so it's just gonna be melting into the meat and have like a super salty, buttery taste. And it literally took 10 seconds for them to cook it. She just put it on, and it's ready. It's so good! Arigato! Oh my God, it's so good. Because it like liquefies in your mouth from all that fat being cooked. That was unreal. Unreal. Oh. This isn't even where the real action is in Osaka. So we're gonna walk off our food a little bit for 15 minutes to go to Dotonbori, and let's get more food there. This is Dotonbori. It is an 8-block street full of festivities and food. The first thing we're gonna do now that we're here is get some boba.
Get the strawberry milk medium. Brown sugar bubble milk tea, and it's amazing. It's like the teensiest little bit of coffee with a bunch of milk and a ton of vanilla.
And I got peach slice milk tea. It tastes like a lot of tea and a little milk, so it's perfect. Really sweet too. Unlike this boba, our family travels aren't always peaches and cream.
Since we started jetting around the world a few years ago, we've had to deal with missed flights, weather cancellations, lost luggage, a case of appendicitis, and at least one near-death experience.
We knew we needed travel coverage to protect our investment, but let's be honest, most insurance carriers blow.
They're either dragging you down with paperwork.
Adding complex exclusions and fine print that leave you up in arms.
Those aren't arms, they're tentacles.
Or just deny reasonable claims when you're already feeling crabby.
It's enough to make anyone mad, even this guy.
Luckily, we found Safety Wing. They're our go-to partner for our growing list of nomadic travel resources.
Their policies are affordable for pretty much everyone, and kids under 10 are covered for free.
We're skipping your birthdays this year, guys.
Online sign-up is a breeze. You can get covered in just minutes, even after leaving for your trip. And you don't need to know the exact countries or dates for your travel.
Ooh, that means we can be spontaneous. That kind of service goes a long way toward explaining why their Net Promoter Score is almost 4 times the industry average.
And when you do need help, you're just seconds away from dealing with a real human being who's dedicated to getting you across the finish line as quickly as possible.
So don't be a puss. Go to followabc.com/insurance and get a free quote today.
Now for our first bite in Dotonbori, we want the #1 sold item here, and that's takoyaki. Taco means octopus, and so takoyaki is little dough balls filled with pieces of octopus in it. And you've got sauce on top, 2 different kinds of sauces, and the bonito flakes. Fish flakes on top. And how amazing was it how he was doing it so fast and turning them, and it's crazy how just like the half spear cut out, like they can make the full ball with it. Ooh, it's really flexible and it really gives when I pinch it. Really hot and like definite chunks of octopus in there, but it's gushy. It's almost like the dough's not cooked all the way. It tastes like it's cooked, but it's still really liquidy inside. It surprised me. I thought it was gonna have some more firmness to it, but it doesn't.
We actually had these in the Philippines also, and they're in one of our street food episodes for Cebu City. When we had them there, I have to say, it wasn't my favorite thing. I think because I was expecting it to be like a fritter, like crispy on the outside at least, and maybe have more firmness to it, and the spongy squishiness, softness to it just wasn't very satisfying, but let's give it another go. I like it a lot more this time. I mean, #1, I think it has more layers of flavor with the sauces on top and the little flakes. It has more variation, more variety to the textures that are in there. And then the big chunks of octopus, I don't think we really enjoyed last time, but like Aaron said, you really get those in this one. Next on the list is Kushikatsu, an Osaka delicacy, and there's a specific place we want to get it that's impossible to miss. We're going downstairs for this one. I think the bar upstairs is mostly for singles or doubles, not families.
We got a classic kushikatsu. Kushikatsu, it's meat or vegetable battered and deep fried, and we got beef. It's their classic kushikatsu. Now, I want to doll mine up with the sauces and the seasoning. I'm just gonna do it on my half. That was really easy to bite into. That's like a delicate little bite. Small piece of steak in there, and I think there are a few pieces stacked on each other, and then it's battered and deep fried.
It's like a beef corn dog, right?
Yeah.
Whoops. The beef tastes tender, but it's really stuck to that skewer. It's a breadcrumb batter, so you get that graininess to it, unlike a corn dog.
Well, that was a 2-bite wonder. It's because we got more to go. We're pacing ourselves as always. But I want to point out that we are sitting along the Dotonbori Canal, and that's kind of a marker for the boundary of Dotonbori. And this is Imai Hoten. We had lunch there yesterday. It is one of the best places to get udon noodles, and if you want to see that meal, stick around to the end. Osaka has a signature dish. It's Okonomiyaki, and you'll probably see them all over the place, and I see one right now, and we're gonna try it.
Downstairs again.
We ordered just one Okonomiyaki, and it's gonna take 35 minutes. So this is a nice little break. And some of the places we stop at are just on the street, eat right outside of the stall, and some of them are restaurants and you have to come in and sit down, like this one. Now this griddle in front of us, it's getting hot.
It really gets pretty warm down here from the griddle. So it makes sense that they have fans down here.
So this is basically a Japanese griddle cake, and there's a ton of layers and ingredients in it. This is pretty big. This is enough for all of us to share, especially since we're not having it as a meal individually. It is made with flour, egg, cabbage, and it usually has seafood or pork, and we chose pork today. It's a lot of vegetable, a lot of cabbage. So I'm really pleasantly surprised how light it is. It looks like it's a heavy, heavy dish when you look at it, but it's like a lot of veggies. Oh, that's a big bite, huh? I like this a lot more than I expected because, to be honest, it doesn't look terribly appetizing. Just sitting there on the dancing bonito flakes. I really, really like it. It's like eating a salad and something hefty at the same time. It does have like a lightness feeling to it.
I think it's delicious, and it reminds me of a tortilla. Is it Peru, babe, or Argentina? So it's like layers of potato and everything, vegetables and some meats in there. That's what this reminds me of. It almost tastes like a really fat, fluffy omelet or something too. It's like a teriyaki sauce kind of on the pork on the top. So it's really well balanced because you get a lot of saltiness from the meat, some sweetness from that sauce, some lightness from all the vegetables and the base. I love it. This is really good.
Barbecue pork.
As soon as Phil finishes his sake, we're gonna hit the streets. These weren't on our list, but they look awesome, and I'm in the mood for octopus. So this is one of those machines, like you order it here first, and then it's cash only. The change and the ticket come out, and now we give this. Arigato. They look like takoyaki. Takoyaki. They look a lot like takoyaki, but with the octopus sticking out of it. And we got a variety of sauces. There's soy sauce, there is more of a sticky, sweet, glazy sauce, and then this is mayonnaise over them. I'm gonna try one of these. It's hot. I wanna wait a minute because I learned my lesson. Ooh!
Hot?
This is exactly like takoyaki.
It is takoyaki.
It is takoyaki, just with the whole octopus on the outside. I'm gonna be honest, I like the little chunks better than the whole octopus because some of the tentacles, I don't know if it's because of the air or the way it's cooked or whatever, but they are a little bit more chewy than when it had the big chunks inside. Oh, is it so hot still?
I can't wait another second. I gotta dive into one of these because it looks awesome. The flavors are good, but I totally agree with you, Aaron. The textures are way better than the other one.
I think it might be cheese, and it's good.
It's time to get crabby. Another iconic sign here is the giant crab. We're gonna get some Kani. K-A-N-I.
Now this place is known for their crab, and you can actually get full meals, including sushi and everything. But what we wanted to do was just walk up to the outdoor stall and get one of these Kani buns. It's just a steamed bun filled with crab meat.
Is it too hot or can I take a bite?
You know what, it's hot right now, but it's gonna cool off real quick with this nice little breeze we have going, so why don't you give it a try?
That's good. That's like the sushi roll crab.
Probably way better than that, buddy. Kind of the flavor of a crab cake without the mayo and breadcrumbs. That's a lot of crab meat and a lot of crab flavor. Doesn't leave me crabby. Does it leave you crabby?
No.
That is legit, but this bun is so good, and the crab, out of this world, delicious. One more bite that we have to get, and it's just down here.
We only have time for one more bite today, and we're gonna do it right with the world famous coin waffle filled with cheese. They also have these incredible looking Oreo, churros, ice cream, phantasmicisms listed here, but I can't talk our kids into getting them.
Oh, there's the ticket. We're gonna wait for a fresh batch. What do you got? Very cheesy. Cheese and waffles, I never would have thought. That's a pretty crazy combination in my mind. Interesting.
You know what else is a crazy combination? Cheese and hot chocolate.
Is it like a sweet waffle or a savory waffle? That's the bomb. That's super good. Anybody who doesn't like that, crazy. Okay, everybody, I have to know, what was your favorite bite of the day? Brooklyn, you go first.
Cotton candy.
Lame.
It's not lame, it was made by a robot.
I might have to go with the crab bun. That was delicious. The bun, the crab, everything was stellar.
I think I would say the Kobe beef, but I didn't get to try any. Probably the tuna, the bluefin tuna, was phenomenal, as was the wasabi that came with it. So it was a twofer, hands down my favorite bite of the day.
This was definitely my favorite.
But man, that was a ton of food. What a full day. No pun intended, because I'm full, I'm stuffed. Stick around, check out that udon noodle meal coming up next. And we're not done in Japan yet. We're still touring through. We've got a lot more to show you, so please subscribe and follow us along. We've been in Osaka for all of 3 minutes and we are obsessed already. Look at this place. It's incredible and there's food everywhere, so you know that we're in heaven. But we're actually gonna start off a little bit quieter in a very traditional style building in the middle of all this excitement. This is Imai Hoten, and the willow tree is a landmark here in Dotonbori, and the black tile roofs called Karawa, they are supposed to mimic a traditional building, which is ironic in the excitement on this street.
Well, it's a very busy place, very popular place, so we are sitting here waiting for a table. And we're not sure if she said 15 minutes or 50 minutes. But either way, I'm sure it'll be worth it.
Well, we're being seated, but we have to go in this little elevator and we're going to the 4th floor. The restaurant is popular for their udon noodles. I got kitsune udon, which originated in Osaka, and it is a bean curd, little patty right here, fried. Their dashi, which is the broth, and it's been passed down in their family for generations and generations, and that's what people really love about this restaurant is the broth, the dashi. Wow, it's so good. And I have to add this. This is spices here. So you pull out the little doober bob, okay, and then just shake it here. Let me try these noodles. The udon noodles being thicker has a little bit more bite to it. And the spices I just put on top, awesome. Like a lot more peppery taste and a little bit spicier.
Udon noodles with duck. Ooh, that's good. I like the texture.
And instead of bean curd, mine has a poached egg and some fish cake. It's a fantastic noodle, one of the thickest noodles I've ever had. I feel like maybe it's cooked in some sort of a bamboo or wood at some point in it because I really get some hints of wood. Phenomenal to the last drop.
I am out of my mind excited for all the other things we're gonna have in Osaka. This is so good. Awesome, it is a 10 out of 10. It is an 11 out of 10. So good. As soon as we ordered, they put this down at our table. So now that we're done, we're just gonna take it downstairs, pay, and we're all set.
We're the Lockwoods. Aaron, Phil, Reagan, Brooklyn, and Cole. We're traveling the world to experience up close and in person all the natural wonders and distinct cultures that our kids would otherwise be consuming only through textbooks and TV. We think it's a better way to learn, and we're working hard to fund this little experiment in the hope that our kids will grow up wiser, kinder, and more grateful for the beauty of our diverse planet and its people.
Oh, harder.
I can't believe you did it again. Okay? Don't inhale it.